All right, y'all, so let's talk about this. Now, we've talked about the fight with AJ and Jake Paul. We've talked about real fighters, people playing boxing, people putting themselves in positions that, you know, they skip the line, they come into boxing with anything other than what they've done in the ring that was really respectable. A perfect example. Now, let's look at this, because I want to look at how idiotic these pathetic fans are. If Jake Paul had nothing to do with Disney, if he had nothing to do with a YouTube channel or a podcast or whatever, right, and all these followers, would Jake Paul have been in the ring with any pro boxers? Like with anybody? If it wasn't for that, could he just walk in through the back door? And we know the answer to that. And he is fighting guys that's not actual boxers. He's coming into the sport, right? He got all this money. And this is the first thing that some hoe-ass fans want to say. Oh, everybody's talking, but the same people talking. Shut your bitch ass up. We say what we want to say. But see, we talk the truth. Okay, the only man watching another man's money is a hoe. That's what hoes do, all right? What man is concerning themselves with how much money somebody else made? He made $100 million, and the people that was watching were stupid because, right, and then your bitch ass is commenting on the video because you just can't resist. This is what these idiotic fans do. So let me put my perspective out there, because you always have a bunch of people talking and don't know what the hell they're talking about. Or they connect what you say to what somebody else is saying in their videos because, oh, y'all hating on Jake. Yo, fuck Jake and fuck you. Here's the reality. People that go into boxing because they think, you know what, I want to learn how to fight and I want to make some money. I want to be a fighter. Or, hey, you always fighting out in the street. Why don't you take up boxing or something so you at least can make some money out of it instead of getting yourself in trouble out in the streets? Or whatever it may be. Once you understand, you can die in that ring. Broken jaw, broken ribs, whatever. So what? Fighters, this happens all the time. He got his jaw broken 2 different places. Oh, but Jake. Okay, yeah, well, real fighters have to deal with that. They have to deal with that. Dehydration, all this kind of stuff that goes on in the life of a real fighter. We, okay, if you want to say we, those of us who are telling you this dude is not a real fighter, he skipped the line. Everybody praised him. Oh, he's a genius. He's so smart, right? Okay, yeah. You guys from this generation should all shut the fuck up, because none of you understand what it is to be a real fighter in the first place. Even a real man, for that example. All right, you guys will sit here and not understand the point. It's quick. You always want to, oh, you guys misunderstood my point because you're emotional. I ain't never got my ass whooped and never will. Jake got his ass whooped and got his jaw broken 2 places. So what the fuck? First of all, and especially if you wanted Jake to fucking lose, dumbass, how would somebody be in their feelings because he lost? Stupid. Make that make sense. The whole point of what people that they don't understand this, my perspective, and there's others that share the same actual perspective. And what that is really simple. When you can skip the line and talk shit and find yourself getting big, huge money fights, right? Huge money fights by beating people that are far removed from their prime, way older than you are, and haven't been worth anything for the longest time. Like, how does fighting Tyrone Woodley make you look good as a boxer? Or beating Anderson Silva make you look good as a boxer? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who was never anything. So, in terms of credit we give him is for what? Yeah, he can beat up old washed up fighters. What credit is we supposed to give him? Here's a guy that was about to fight a guy that's 135 pounds. That fight doesn't take place. All of a sudden, he's fighting Anthony Joshua. And so, yeah, when people are saying they hope that AJ put him on his ass and get him out of there so they can stop playing the sport of boxing. As I said, when AJ did what Fury couldn't do against Francis Ngannou, we said, hey, hopefully this circus shit is over. but no. You still have a guy named Jake Paul hanging around, right? Jake Paul decides now he's done with heavyweights. He's going to stay in the cruiserweight division. We knew this was a money grab. You motherfuckers are sitting there talking about he showed incredible heart because he went in the ring and ran. Let me tell you something. There's people that never ever been in the ring ever would have gotten there and got knocked out or whatever and at least try to put up a better fight than Jake did, okay? Who ain't never fought for 90 million, 100 million, whatever, all that money they made. Of course they would have, of course. So to sit here talking about he showed incredible heart and all he did was run and fall on the floor and hug AJ's leg and hump his damn leg all night. That's showing incredible heart? Okay, whatever. We're saying, plain and simple, these guys need to stop playing with the sport of boxing. The reason why people within the sport is sympathetic to Jake is because, like I said, he's a meal ticket. They can make money with him, make money from him, however, off of him, however you want to say it. That's all that is. It has nothing to do with, yo, he's a good fighter. No. So at the end of the day, even though you can see AJ wasn't coming at him to really, you know, AJ held back on that dude. And bottom line, my son's sitting right here next to me. I told my son, I said, if AJ throw that jab to his chest and pin him on the ropes, he's not going to have anywhere to go. He can come over top with the right. And that's exactly what he did and knocked him out. Okay? Simple. And I'm like, man, he's in there holding back. And this is my point. So what is Jake talking about now? Coming down the cruiserweight, and already he wants to fight who? Canelo. Do you understand my point? He's coming in here to make money. Oh, but Jake's an entertainer. He's not a fighter. No, duh, jackasses. That's what the fuck we're talking about. And because people are talking about, we don't care if the fight is fixed as long as it's entertaining. See, this is exactly my point. When I've been saying for the past couple of years now, the sport of boxing as we know it is done. It's not the same. It's all about money, and that's it. All this legacy talk, who's been telling you this shit? So when some little piss-ass son of a bitch come in my comment section trying to tell me, like you're schooling me on, shut your bitch ass up. You don't even know what the fuck has been going on. Because you got people that's not even regulars on your channel. But they hear certain things and want to comment like they're saying so much. You're not saying nothing. Your fanboys, your butt hurt because Jake got his ass stretched. And if he would have tried to fight back, he'd have got stretched in the first round. Anybody can see that shit. The dude can't fight. Okay? So all that incredible heart, you got motherfuckers that climb out Mount Everest. You got people that go out there and die every year. Somebody fall in the Grand Canyon. People do crazy shit. You got fighters that wouldn't try to climb Mount Everest. Nah, hell no. I ain't going up there, right? You got motherfuckers that climb Mount Everest and say, I ain't getting that ring. $90 million. Hell yeah, I get in that ring. So all this talk about, yo, but he showed incredible heart. And even though he got dropped, AJ wasn't hitting that motherfucker with everything. Again, y'all still think y'all saw a real fight between Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. So, you know, you guys that's talking don't understand. When you see, okay, let me put it to you like this. Every fighter that's been in this sport for a long time, that's dedicated their life to the sport, they're trying to make money, all right, as much money as they can. Everybody don't get a franchise championship. They don't get a favoritism belt. And they can't make that money that they've been trying to get to because, oh, but he's not a draw. Imagine if Crawford and Canelo never fought, right? Crawford got to find something else to do. But the majority of the people would have said Canelo would have won because Crawford was too small, which I can understand that. But at the same time, especially when you seen Crawford get dropped at smaller weight classes by certain guys. Okay, I had certain fights where, you know, even though he won, he had some trouble with guys, and it's like, just imagine what happens when Canelo hit him, right? So, again, like I said, if Trinidad never fights Hopkins, you couldn't tell anybody that Hopkins would have beat Trinidad. It had to happen for people to see it. But there's always an excuse. There's always, let's move the goalposts. We're looking at fighters who in their careers broke. We're looking at fighters who just don't get the opportunities. We're looking at fighters that get losses because they're put there with the very top guys. But we get a YouTuber, okay, a Disney star, a podcaster, an entertainer that comes into here and say, I know how to monopolize. I don't care that he's helping the women's division and all that shit and whatever. I get all of that. Bottom line, the type of shit that he talked, had he even went there and tried to fight AJ and got knocked out respectably, then I can see somebody going, hey man, the dude went there and he finally tried. Because basically every fight he's had so far, the whole idea was to make sure that the advantage was on his side. But once again, he thought AJ was so washed up that he had a chance. And like I said, when they had that face-off, I think he felt real different when he stood in front of AJ. He saw the size difference, and I just think the presence, he just felt like, damn, I think I bit off more than I can chew. And that's the reason for all that stupid, they're goofy as fuck anyway, him and his brother. But he's jumping around, hollering shit. Logan's outside telling him he lost every round and all this, trying to get in his head, in AJ's head and all of that. And that's another thing that people said about AJ, is that he has a weak mentality. So they was thinking that, hey man, we caught AJ at a vulnerable time and we're gonna get him. And Jake got there and realized, I don't really know how to box. So when we've been telling you that all this time and you idiots been out there defending, yeah man, but you gotta give him credit. I ain't gotta give him shit. Just like any fighter that handpicks, cherry-pick fighters, and they get in there and finally get in there with stiff competition, they look awful because that's not what they're used to. So when I'm telling you he has no business in the ring with AJ in terms of competition, but in terms of a spectacle of drawing people out and then making a lot of money, well, hey, motherfucker, guess what? You got paid for going in there and running. And basically, the only reason that he tried to engage even a little bit because he was tired. What did I say from the very beginning? Jake gonna run him, he gonna get tired running. Didn't I say that?
And then towards the end of the fight, you want to get tired of getting put in the corner of them ropes.
Plain and simple. Then my son sitting right here. We have to go out and chill right now. I said, as soon as this motherfucker, he gonna get tired because he's not gonna be able to keep this pace up. And all he's doing is running. He's not fighting. This is not stick and move. This is not, you know, I'm outboxing this guy. No, this dude is throwing punches. His head is below his waist. His arm is up in the air. The referee not taking points away from all the holding it up. So basically, let me tell you something, man. At some point, probably some years from now, when Jake is not fighting no more or something, you know what somebody's gonna do? They're going to talk about how Jake Paul has stipulations that favor him in his fights because it's his company, the referees and everybody had to, and about it. Because you can't fucking sit here and tell me that referee, like I said, that'd have been any other fighter, they'd have been saying, hey man, you got to engage. You got to engage, man. You're not fighting, you're just running, you're holding. I mean, all that holding for one, constantly. How many times did he hit the deck and hold on to AJ's leg? How many times did he just fall on the floor? I mean, goddamn, the ref gave this motherfucker a break in one of the rounds for nothing. I'm like, what the hell happened? He pulled AJ on top of him, and all of a sudden, the ref is walking around giving him fucking time to recuperate. And I'm like, okay. You can clearly see, like, all right, yeah, okay, but I'm not shocked by any of it. It's bozo shit. We watch AJ hold back, and then 6th round comes, and this dude he can't run anymore. He can't fight. Okay, it doesn't make a difference whether it's AJ, whether it was Mike Tyson, or he can't fight. See, you know the thing is this, right? If he had to knock Mike Tyson out, Mike Tyson fans would be pissed off because Mike's old and you know. But I guarantee you, if he knocked Mike Tyson out, the first thing you would have heard people talking about is, man, if Mike was in his prime, there's no need to say that because Mike took the fight. It was basically some bullshit. And now because Jake goes in there and gets stopped, get his jaw broken in 2 different places, it's supposed to be pity for Jake. Jake sat there and told Eddie Hearn one time, I'm better than half the fighters on your roster. See, this is exactly my point. Y'all are more concerned about trying to protect the fucking actors, the stuntmen of boxing. But the actual real fighters can't get that. They can't get those fights. They're not getting $90 million. They're not getting that. And this is what the sport has become. Nothing but entertainment and bullshit. So no, we don't like that kind of shit. So we give the boxing news. And assholes, I can't give you news on something if I don't watch it. So at the end of the day, when you make stupid ass comments like you're correcting someone with your bullshit perspective because you're speaking as a fan. I don't give a fuck about none of these people on a personal level. I don't know them. And even if I did know them, you understand what I'm saying? I'm still going to be honest about what I'm looking at. So we're telling you, no, you don't see these guys jumping in MMA saying, hey, I want to fight the best MMA fighter. No, Dana White is not going to let you go and disrespect his sport like that. Dana White is not going to let you go in there and no, the most thing that might happen is you might not fight the easiest guy, the hardest guy, like CM Punk, for example, when he jumped in there and got his ass whooped twice. What did he use as that measuring stick to get in there? As a draw. His popularity from the WWE. Brock Lesnar did the same thing. Only thing was Brock actually had something to him with his size and his power and his wrestling ability, right? So Brock had something to him. So he lost his first fight to Frank Mir, okay, and then he won in the rematch, and then beat Randy Couture in his third professional MMA fight. And from there, you know, he didn't have a long MMA career, but bottom line is he didn't go in there and then feed him guys 25, 30 fucking years older than him that haven't fought in 8 years and all this kind of shit. No, that's what Jake Paul did. So bottom line is, even with what Brock, you know, him losing his first fight, Brock earned. But when he beat Randy Couture, so whoever he lost to, he lost to top level dudes and he beat top level dudes. So that's why there's respect there. So if you're going to use something that you do outside of a sport that you're going into to compete with against, right, then think about it. Think about it. What happens when you do that? You put yourself in a position, and your star power, your popularity, that gets you there. Okay, well, now you got to face the consequences. See how y'all are hypocrites, right? Because when this little guy that calls himself Dean the Great was talking shit trying to get a Shakur Stevens fight, y'all guys said, who does this fucking guy think he is? Man, this dude ain't beat nobody to be in there with no damn Shakur Stevenson. Oh, but Jake Paul did? Hold on, Jay, here already? Damn, I should have went that way. All right, I'll go through the back, however.
Jay said he getting his hair done.
All right, then we'll be out here. Anyway, well, I'll just go to the next side. Then again, it's probably not that bad because you look at the traffic right now. All right, but anyway, so if you look at it, now this guy that calls himself the Integrate, you know what he's doing? He's fighting other guys in the same category as him. He ain't fighting nobody old enough to be his grandfather. He ain't fighting nobody that ain't fought in fucking 10 years, and all of a sudden, you understand what I'm saying? People pick and choose who can cherry pick and who can't. So why was this guy that called himself Dean the Great, why was he so wrong for wanting to fight Shakur Stevenson? Why? Because show me the fucking opponent that Jake Paul beat that put him in the category where he should be in there fighting AJ. And again, they making it seem like he gave AJ a shot. No, he needed the right dance partner to generate that kind of money that they were both able to make. So let's not sit up here and look, that's why one of the reasons too why AJ is not really saying a whole lot about Jake and he's just giving him credit because he made a lot of money with it. That's why. So their perspective is going to be different. See, when you're in a position, it's like you work at a place and there's a lot of shit happening that you don't like. All right, cool. That backup is not from here, so we good. No hell's going on down there, but and people like, man, if I say something, I'm gonna lose my job. And you know what they do? They don't say anything. Then you got some like myself that just don't give a fuck and they're gonna tell you what's actually real, what's really true. So when that happens, right? Even the people that you might be standing up fighting for are looking at you like, man, he's crazy. He don't care. He just telling motherfuckers off. So telling the truth is not what you're supposed to do. So imagine if the person you work for did something to you, right? Did something towards the workers that you didn't like, and you spoke against it and let them know, and they said to you, hey, look, I give you your paycheck. I can say what the fuck I want to you. I can treat you how I want. You get a check through me. Would you agree with that? A whole lot of y'all would, because y'all slaves. This black man right here is free. I ain't no type of nigga. Y'all are. Y'all the ones who go for this. Oh, but give him, I ain't got to give him shit. Any fighter I say anything about, Listen to what I say and look at their actions and take your fucking feelings out of it. And I guarantee you'll go, damn, he's telling the truth though. You don't like the truth because it exposes the person that you sitting here cheerleading for. I don't cheerlead for none of these motherfuckers. Y'all do. I'm nobody's fucking fan. Y'all are fans. And y'all proud to call yourself fans of people. You see, real respect's real. And they understand it. Salute to counter punch boxing, Kirk DeVille. Salute to my brother. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all sit up here and y'all talk about these fighters, right? Like these fighters care about you. These fighters don't know you. Let me show you the difference with something though. You see AJ taking pictures with all these people. He's meeting and greeting and showing, like, being thankful for these people coming out. The one thing about AJ that people like is also the thing that put fear in his fans, because they feel like he's too much of a gentleman. And it's like, look, I talked about some of this stuff already, but AJ will have opponents that disrespect him, say things about him, but he'll find a way to do nothing but talk good about these people. That's just who he is. I'm not that person. So certain things I can commend about people, but there's other things that I just don't understand about folks. And I'm like, hey man, that's that person. Me personally, I'm not one of these people that somebody can, like, you can't talk shit to me and I see you and not do nothing to you. You can't talk shit about me, you know, any of that. And you know, bottom line, I'm one of these people that I give you the fuck you fingers and throw my hands up in a heartbeat. So I'm not with that, oh, I heard what he said, but that's AJ. And you know, that's why when he gets in the ring, a lot of times people are like, they don't know. What was the better odds last night when they were showing that shit on DraftKings, the commercials about, but not even the commercial, the actual fight. People had Jake Paul winning, right? They had Jake Paul winning, right? And what I say, now watch the excuses they gonna fucking make tomorrow after he get his ass kicked, right? Oh, but Jake ain't a fuck, right? So this is what y'all did. The majority of those people that hate Jake Paul winning, right? They put it right up on the screen. So let's not act like I'm telling y'all something that y'all didn't see. You lying motherfuckers. They put that shit right up on the fucking screen that they had Jake Paul as the betting favorite. Regardless, now be going in, they told him he was the as a matter of fact, like when Cameron told him he was the underdog. He like, I've been the underdog all my life and all this shit. Like I said, here's a guy who's done nothing to nobody worth a damn, and he's talking about, I don't know what I got to do to get my respect. Okay, so when you saw them betting last night, a lot of people changed their mind and said, nah, I think Jake gonna win, right? Now when he gets his ass kicked, but you gotta understand, he's an entertainer. No, I ain't gotta understand shit. I understand far more than you know. Assholes. Who's the one, slow your ass down, who's the fucking one that decided that they were gonna bet on Jake Paul? Are you telling those people that shit? Are you telling those people, hey man, y'all betting on Jake, but Jake is not skilled enough to beat AJ? Jake Paul told the whole world Anthony Joshua got where he was because of his size and his power, not because of his skills. And he said he has a whole different skill set. He wasn't lying. You call that motherfucker the Running Man. He done recreated that dance, the Running Man, because that's all that motherfucker did was run. So for somebody, I know it's another one back there too. I'm trying not to be on that wall, but anyway, yeah, he basically ran, right? And all of these excuses, all of these fucking excuses. Where we at? What you see? What you see?
Parking right in front of that white Jeep.
Good eyes, good eyes. Yeah, so, you know, I'm looking at this shit and I'm saying, man, you know, the funny thing about all of this shit, man, is this. I don't care if you like a fighter or not. You don't even hear me use that term. I'll say I like a fighter as a fighter. You don't ever hear me say, I like this person. I don't know these people, man. You know, y'all the ones act like y'all know these people because y'all become fans and all that. I ain't nobody's fucking fan. I'm telling you, as long as these people, these motherfuckers that sit here and watch these YouTubers and these entertainers run their mouth, yelling, screaming, talking all this shit, threatening people, they think that all I gotta do is learn how to talk some shit, right? Act tough, and get a YouTube channel. And then I can jump in the ring and I go in there and beat Terrence Crawford. I go in there and beat up Canelo. Yeah, that's all I gotta do is talk some shit and act tough. Because pretty much that's all you see going on in this so-called sport of boxing. And these people that jump in there, well, when you get your ass whooped, for somebody to come to the conclusion, yeah, but he's only an entertainer, and we say, what do your dumb ass think we've been saying all this time? So why are you repeating to us what we already know? That's all they are, is entertainers. They're not boxers, they're not fighters. And once again, they won't jump into an MMA cage and try to fight anybody that's top level. They will. That would be like how old is like Royce Gracie right now? That would be like this motherfucker Jake Paul saying he want to fight Royce Gracie. A motherfucker, the last time he fought, he got his ass handed to him by what's his name? Matt Hughes, years ago. And then win, and then talk about this is a great fighter man, this motherfucker ain't fought like 2 decades. What the this is and this is what we're supposed to applaud? No. I say this. I don't knock any fighter for making their money, and I've been saying, I always said that, and I don't knock a motherfucker for doing what he was allowed to do. But what I'm saying is, when you get in there and you want to pretend to be something that you're not, like let's just say, for example, if me and Jake was talking and Jake said, yo, here's the stipulations though, man, you can't tell nobody, this is in the contract, this is a lawsuit, you tell, don't knock me out, right? Don't knock me out, and yo, man, like, you know, like for the first like 4 or 5 rounds, I'm, you know, just, you know, let's make it look good. Like, let's just say, well, let's say I agreed to it. I said, fuck that, and I went in and I knocked Jake ass out in the first round. Jake sues me, right? What's the lawsuit about? The information gonna come out because he told Aries not to knock him out. That was a part of it, to make it look good, and Aries just jumped on him and knocked him the fuck out in round 1. Y'all would still respect that motherfucker, wouldn't y'all? Even though the truth is out. That, yo, he went there and was asking for a fixed fight. And you know how I know y'all would? Most of y'all anyway? Because when these fucking people, like when I give you the news and I give you names and I give you receipts of people saying, I don't even care if the fight is fixed as long as it's entertaining, and y'all still respect even those people and their opinions who tell you shit like that. What can a motherfucker tell you that don't even respect a real fight? And this is where, as fans, and y'all are sitting up here trying to defend people. No, it's consequences, motherfucker, for what you do. It's as simple as that. So you got in there, and hey, do you feel like AJ was holding back? Mm-hmm. Okay. Everybody that's seen that shit is like, AJ was holding back, man. He didn't really want to hurt him too bad, and he wound up breaking his jaw in 2 different places anyway. So that's what this is the hurt business. No, y'all want this shit to turn to a symphony, a Broadway play. We ain't cut from that pussy ass fucking cloth y'all cut from. And this is exactly my point. So when y'all sitting up here talking about y'all don't understand, no, y'all bitch asses don't understand because y'all not real men. And just like when Francis Ngannou agreed to fight Tyson Fury, and Francis Ngannou was talking about how I love the sport of boxing, and this I can do this. And okay, is he boxing anymore? And what did he say to Tyson Fury that I didn't respect? When they were arguing back and forth, he said, "You're nothing for you, but you're lucky you're under the rules of boxing. Otherwise, you can't stand in front of me. You're nothing in front of me." Nah, Francis, no. You can't resort to talk about no MMA shit. You agreed to a boxing match. You understand? That's some coward shit. That's some punk shit. That's like playing a motherfucking pool, right? And he's busting your ass on that pool table. Then all of a sudden you want to box him because you're much bigger and stronger, or you want to play him in ball because you're better at ball. Like, bro, no, you agreed to play pool, not basketball. And I don't respect when people do that. You agree to something, it don't go the way that you want it to go. Now all of a sudden there's excuses. At the end of the fucking day, you know why Jake Paul get booed at his own events? Because the type of shit he talk, and people are aware. Look at the opponents he's fighting. Come on, man, let's be real. And here's a guy who is helping disgrace the sport of boxing by putting himself in a position of being as good as Usyk. Him versus AJ is going to look a lot like the Usyk fight. Really? This is the same guy who's sitting up here, like I said, telling Eddie Hearn, I'm better than half the fighters on your roster, and the same guy who has beat no fucking respectable fucking names. None. If I said to you, yo, man, I just had 8 blood transfusions. I'm about to go and fight in about a month. What the fuck? Yo, Aries, come on, man. Why the fuck would you risk it, right? Ain't that what Mike Tyson did? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and when people tell you that his fights are fixed, when people tell you that Jake Paul is, he's an entertainer. That's exactly my point. So people who are real fighters, people that respect real fighting, want to see a real fighter punish a fake fighter so they can stand their fucking asses out of pro boxing. You already got the misfits. Goddamn. You already got the fucking misfits. So here's the deal, right? I don't have to watch. But whatever I watch, I can watch if I want to. It's my fucking choice. So whether I choose to watch or not to watch, the point that's my choice. But if I'm going to give news on something, I have to see it to talk about it. And I don't respect fake fighters that talk shit. I don't care about what the misfits are doing. But when the misfits are running their mouths trying to fight a Shakur Stevenson, trying to fight an Anthony Joshua, so they get that ass bust, we supposed to have sympathy for them? Man, you can't play with these motherfuckers. Show them. This is why you don't belong in the ring with me. This is why you going to respect my sport. That's where we're coming from. That's the perspective we're coming from. All y'all give a fuck about is money, 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 because y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of slaves. You're not true to anything. You don't stand for anything. You're pussy, and that's why y'all would never ever be fighters or never get in the ring with nobody, because you're down with the fix. We're not down with no fucking fix. And that's exactly the point that I'm saying. Which is exactly why I would never fucking agree to some shit. I don't care how much the money was for, knowing I couldn't uphold it. I'm going to go in there and pretend and play with this motherfucker and make him look better than what he did. Well, here's the thing, right? Everybody that knows that Anthony Joshua held back, I'm willing to guarantee you there's going to be some channel out there, if they haven't already said it, that's going to call this shit a circus fight and say AJ basically was running up on him aggressively, right? But he was holding back. To make the circus act look better, he should have held back, just kept it long, stayed behind, the jab, whatever, and then wait, and then just wait the round 6 to knock him out, because he could have knocked him out whenever he wanted to. And I'm guaranteeing you somebody's going to say something to that effect if they haven't already. Because when I'm watching him, I'm looking at AJ standing in front of him, stalking him. Okay, no need to get hit with unnecessary shit like this dude there slapping you, even though the punches ain't landed. And like I said, I remember one clean uppercut landed. AJ ate that shit. Like he got slapped instead of punched. All right, and not even the palm, like fingertip slap. That shit did nothing to him. I told y'all, this dude don't have heavyweight power. This dude is basically used to getting his way with older men. That's done, and not even actual boxers. But somehow y'all praise that. We don't come from that. We don't come from a YouTube era. We did it for real. We didn't get popularity through running our mouths on some fucking social media shit and acting tough. We actually really did shit. So all of this talking and trying to make excuses for this little bitch, only a bitch make excuses for a bitch. Only a homosexual making excuses for what homosexuals do. Only a rapist making excuses for what a rapist do. Do y'all understand me? Stop acting like y'all know so much about boxing, because you don't. Y'all come from this era where pussy shit happens and you support it because you're pussy. And that's any one of you motherfuckers out there that don't like it. Because that's what y'all do on a regular basis. Yeah, man, but you fail to know. What you fail to understand is you're a little bitch talking to real men. And that's why the fuck y'all always have some shady, crooked, freaky shit to say, because y'all don't understand anything that's real. I know these dudes gonna go get their money. I'll beat his ass for 70 fucking million or whatever. Oh yeah, I go in there and cook his ass for 70 million. So I would never tell nobody you shouldn't go get your money. But I'm not gonna go along with no circus shit. And if that's the deal, and that's on my dead mama, then keep your money. Keep your fucking money. Because I'm not a clown, I'm not a bitch, and I'm not for sale. And that's real shit. Y'all will take money by any means necessary. And this is why you got these fucking faggot rappers, and I'm saying it. Yeah, I got fucked in my ass, but I got my deal. Yeah, such and such took my ass. Yeah, I got fucked, but hey, I got my... Yeah. That's who y'all are. That's who the fuck y'all are. That's what you are. So you can't talk to a real one. You can't relate to or understand a real one. And I know, face to face, none of you would have nothing to say. But that's what y'all do. Let me go in the comment section and act tough and make excuses for this motherfucker. At the end of the day, he got what he deserved. That he didn't get his ass. Believe me. All he need to do is go in there with somebody that don't care about trying to carry him or whatever. And that's why I'm telling you, I'm guaranteeing you, and there's some stipulations that goes on in his contracts. And that's why that referee ain't take no points away. You show me any other fight where somebody ran, any other fight, half as much as Jake Paul and then get points taken away. You got fighters like Devin that hit and move, jabbing, throwing the right hand, they're punching. And y'all motherfuckers got the nerve to sit up here and say he ran, but call this shit that Jake Paul did last night smart. That was smart. Okay. So he got his ass kicked. He knew he couldn't stand with AJ, but he told the world he could. He talked about on the inside, all this shit he was saying. I'm like, yeah, and these motherfuckers really believe that he gonna go in there and do it. So bottom line, y'all know he's full of shit. He's a liar, but y'all checked it out just to see anyway, right? And for the people that bet on him, how stupid do y'all feel now? Because y'all all lost y'all bets, dumbasses. But that's what y'all thought. So when I said if AJ have any kind of trouble with this guy, that means AJ is just trash if it's not a fixed fight. And if AJ goes there and hold back on him and carry him and then finally get him out of there, whatever, it doesn't do any justice for AJ, and it doesn't do any justice for the sport of boxing. It really doesn't. You think I'm concerned with what the fuck somebody put in their pocket? In their bank account? No. And what did AJ say at the post conference? He wanted to get him out of there earlier. He really wasn't impressed by his performance. That's what AJ said. Yeah, that's what AJ said. Everybody said if AJ, you see, y'all want to put all the onus on Jake Paul and everybody coming at him, but nah, Jake Paul, okay, everybody was talking about if AJ don't knock him out in the first round, right? It's a loss. Okay, so now this is how we judging losses? No, I said he need to knock, and I myself say he need to knock him out early. He need to get him, if this is a real fucking fight, he need to get him out of there early. But we talk about a guy that didn't fight, he just ran. Why are we overlooking it? That's exactly what his tactic was. Let me run and last as long as I fucking can. Hope this big dude get gassed out, chasing me around, trying to catch. That's what he thought was hoping was going to happen, and it didn't happen. AJ was prepared, he was in shape, he was ready. Yeah, and also, this is an 8-round fight, not 10. Yeah. Any advantage that Jake Paul can get, even like when this motherfucker was fighting Tank Davis and they said if you beat Tank Davis, do you think you'll get the respect you deserve? And this motherfucker actually said, I don't know what it is I got to do to get my respect. What you mean get your respect? He wants to be seen the same as Usyk, the same as an AJ or Tyson Fury. He wants to be seen and categorized on that level. Is that what y'all see when y'all see Jake Paul fight? So you think that us grown-ass men gonna sit up here and go along with these lies that you motherfuckers want to tell? Nah, we don't do that shit. Never have, never will for nobody. And this is where these fucking fans are delusional and they can sell you anything. They can tell you anything. So to tell me he's an entertainer, bitch, I know that. He's not a real fighter. Bitch, I know that. Well, he's not a real bitch. I know that. What the fuck do you think I'm talking about? And what I've been talking about. And watching this sport become a complete disgrace. Because all y'all care about is money, money, money. That's it. I told y'all, fighter legacies are done. Nobody cares about that because I'm watching. AJ told you last night he don't care about legacy. I told you this shit. So whether I'm talking about AJ, Jake Paul, or anybody else, get out your fucking feelings. Because I'm going to say what the fuck I want, but I'm going to say what's true. Every time. This dude went in there last night and ran. And held and humped AJ's leg all night. pretended his knee was, he was trying so hard to get more time and everything. And when his ass got stretched, got his jaw broke. That's why his mouth was, yeah, that's why. Yeah, his shit was broke in 2 different places. Good for him. It happens to fighters all the time. Welcome to the big leagues, bitch. That's all I got for y'all. Catch y'all on the next one.